你们好，我很高兴见到你们。我是 Gallo, 我叫 Andrea. I'm Vice President of Business Development at Linaro. And I would like to spend a few minutes to share some of the great achievements that Linaro and OpenEULA have been showing over the last few years. I'm Vice President of Business Development. I joined Linaro in 2012 when I started as Engineering Director for the ARM data center work. Before Linaro, I was a fellow at ST Micro, but the role I'm the most proud of is that when I was a student, I was a trainee, a summer trainee at ARM. I worked on the first ARM2 processor. Linaro is the software engine of the ARM ecosystem. Our collaborative engineering, our services, and our solutions help our customers accelerate the development, testing, the deployment of their ARM-based innovations. We foster an environment of collaboration, adoption of industry standards, and optimizations. Companies can engage with Linaro in multiple ways. Our customers can engage in our collaborative projects when we work together in solving common problems and sharing the solutions among all the companies that are participating in this engineering collaboration. Customers can also engage with Linaro in more traditional one-to-one engineering services where we help transition from open source projects to business products. And we can also offer product-based solutions with commercial support for tool chains and other tools. We are the leaders in Linux for the ARM architectures. Since the beginning, we have been in the top 5 contributors for the ARM architecture in Linux at large in the kernel. And multiple times we ranked number 1. We hire more than 70 open source maintainers at Linaro. Our activities in terms of software, they range from Android to OpenEULA to Windows, Yocto, and many others, including security firmware. That's very important. On the product side, we range from IoT and Edge to automotive, smartphones, laptops, supercomputers. And all the companies involved in the collaborative engineering, they range from chip vendors to OS companies, cloud companies, and OEMs. We have been engineering ARM servers since 2012. And I would like to share how all this applies, and we have been applying it to OpenEULA. These are some of the scorecards that we are proud of. Over the years, since 2012, we enabled significant optimizations in the ARM space in the data center. 4.5 times speed up in file systems and CRC. 15 times acceleration in OpenSSL, in crypto, in AES. All production ARM platforms running Linux in the data center and supercomputers run software that originates from the collaboration driven by Linaro. In 2016, we were founding members of BigTop. In 2018, we received the OpenStack Interop Award. In 2020, we were CNCF certified. 2022, we added BigTop support for OpenEULA. So it's a long journey that we think has been very successful. And some of the logos here show the projects that we have been contributing to. So specifically for OpenEuler, we signed the CLA in July 2021. And the mission has been, since the beginning, to help introduce OpenEuler to key upstream open source projects and developer communities, and establish OpenEuler as the reference-supported operating system. And these are some of the projects that we have been involved with, and I want to provide more details on the achievements on all these projects. But first of all, I'm very proud to share that in December last year, we won the annual award for our contribution for Big Top on OpenEuler. So thank you very much to OpenEuler for awarding this to Linaro. Now I would like to provide some few details on the different projects. I always like to look at open source projects also from a business perspective. So OpenStack is the first one in this short list. And OpenStack, as you know, is the cloud operating system. And when I look at all the components in OpenStack, they sum up to 2 million lines of code. The estimate is that it requires 500 man-years of development. And there's a cumulated estimated development cost of more than $27 million. We started working on OpenStack and OpenEuler when we signed the CLA, July 2021. And 5 months later, we had the official support added to OpenStack. So OpenEuler is an official supported OS in OpenStack, and we have the official CI in place. That took only 5 months. Big data is another very important area. Big Top is a project from the Apache Foundation. It's used by all the data scientists worldwide. When you look at the numbers, it's more than 3 million lines of code, much more, because one of the key projects currently cannot be fetched by OpenHub that does all the statistics for me. And it's more than 1,000 years of development effort. $51 million of cumulated development spent. We started in December 2022, and in April 2023, we got official agreement that Big Top welcomes OpenEuler as a reference software, and since then, we have been setting up the official builders. Software-defined storage is another very important area. And you can see from the slides and all the details that this has been a continuous work ongoing on Ceph, Data, Lustre, BGFS, DAOS. All these distributed software storage-defined file systems, they require a lot of work. And all the optimization that I mentioned at the beginning, 4.5x speed up in checksum or in crypto, they're all being applied in all these projects. Of course, we have been collaborating very closely with the UADK project, that is a unified framework for the accelerators. And we have been working very closely between the engineers at Linaro and the engineers at Huawei to improve the support of UADK and integrate it in OpenSSL, in DPDK, and in other frameworks to add support for ARM-based Kunpeng. Another project that is very important to this ecosystem is exactly the ecosystem dashboard. This is a hub where you can find all the information centralized in a single place, and it provides the latest updates on all these key projects, and it provides links to the official builds of what has been tested successfully on ARM, and this includes OpenEuler as one of the key distributions. So today we have about 180 projects that range from OS to virtualization, clouds, databases, web systems, AI, and many more. Confidential computing is another very important area. Confidential computing is coming everywhere. In the ARM space, this is the confidential computing architecture. This is a set of hardware and software features that are being added to the ARM v9a architecture. As part of our remit at Linaro, based on the publicly available information, Linaro has been adding support for a CCA emulation platform in QEMU. And we are fostering the open source development of the software stack that enables CCA. And as part of this, the goal is to make sure that OpenEuler is fully supported as well for confidential computing. There's a link here to our project page if you want more details. And I would also invite you to look at the resources from the first CCA technical event that we held almost 2 years ago together with ARM, where we presented the key concept of CCA and the roadmap for the software enablement. There's so much more that we could leverage together between Linaro and OpenEuler. So I would like to share just a couple of examples of work that is ongoing at Linaro that we want to ensure that OpenEuler can leverage. From the previous talks, I saw that TensorFlow was mentioned. TensorFlow is very important for all the machine learning. And over the last several years, Linaro has been providing the official builds and testing for TensorFlow for the ARM64 architecture. And I provided links to some of the key talks. And this is an area where we could all work together more, or extend these to other AI frameworks for ARM64 and OpenEuler. We mentioned all the work that we're all doing around the Linux kernel. Well, this is the biggest of all the projects. Just the Linux kernel itself, the cumulated cost is estimated to be $650 million. And Linaro is continuously building and testing multiple releases of Linux for the ARM platforms. Here you see some examples, and I provided a link at the bottom to our public dashboard. And so you see all the releases that Linaro is continuously building and testing. And the LTS is an area where we could jointly with OpenEuler provide long-term support to all the OpenEuler ecosystem. So overall, I'm really proud that Linaro and OpenEuler together, we have been expanding over the last 2 years. We have been expanding the engineering collaboration between OpenEuler and the international developer communities. We have been enabling best-in-class native support for OpenEuler in the top critical open source software projects. And we have been contributing to the growth, the adoption of OpenEuler in the ARM-based data center business. And we want to continue this success story together. CCM.